What's going on, everybody? How are you? Happy Friday. This is Alone Together Pittsburgh, Alone Together streaming, coming at you, wrapping up what is our week 19. It's hard to believe that that is the case, but here we are. Week 19 is now going to be in the books here. We started this show right when the shelter in place order came down from Governor Wolf, and we've been doing it 3 to 4 days a week ever since. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for staying home tonight and not getting into any mischief. But we're really happy to be here. I believe this is episode 65. I think this is episode 65. So
that's right.
So I mean, this show could totally get Social Security. Is that still the age for Social Security? My jokes fall flat sometimes. But I'm excited to be here with you all tonight, especially because I can't really show you right now, but I bought a TV tray in the mail. So I have a laptop on a TV tray here in my little setup here. So you're not going to have to see like the pillow that my laptop used to be on shaking anymore. See, every 19 weeks, every 10 weeks or so, we do something better. I got a light. I hooked up my, oh, there it is. There's the setup right there. I didn't think that I would have tidied up.
Pro.
I would have tidied up the house a little bit. If you'll notice in that picture, there was a drink holder, and that's why I spent an extra $3 or $4 for that drink holder. But none of my drinks fit in the drink holder, unfortunately. But that's the setup right now. We're professionals, and happy Friday, TGIF. There's been a lot of crazy stuff going on in the news. You'll see the numbers in Allegheny County are still fluctuating around the 100 to 200 mark. We're still trying to let people know that we are not out of the woods yet. We need to keep on wearing our masks, keep on washing our hands, keep on social distancing. We've got a great show for you lined up. Davu Flint is going to be here. Very excited about that. Natalie Bensaveng is going to be here 5 minutes with. And the Dave Bracey is going to be here with a local Brewers roundup and a little bit of updates on Fresh Fest, DigiFest for this year. But there is something that went on in the last 24 hours, okay? We have a little thing on the show called the Engine House 25 Winery Jagoff Poll, okay? The Jagoff Poll, where you, the viewing audience, and you, the people at large, vote on this, right? Now, this is brought to you by Engine House 25 Wines, which during the pandemic, all while it's going on, they're still doing curbside. They're still doing killer stuff. You go to eh25.com. You can order the wine. You can see their selections. You call them up. They'll take your credit card over the phone, or you can do it through their website. They will set you up. You let them know when you're coming. You give them a 15-minute window. They will come and pick it up. And I have some brand new news for you. If you call Engine House 25 Wines and order any wine that you want, from the Riesling to the Rosé to the Cabernet to the Zin, which I'm a fan of all of them, the Chardonnay as well, killer, you'll get $5 off each bottle if you mention Alone Together streaming. That's right, $5 off any bottle in the house. If you buy 10 bottles, that's $5 a bottle. Do the math, okay? We're talking that's better than a BOGO when you get to that. I'm a big fan of the BOGO. So you get out there right now, Engine House 25 Wines, they'll do that. And also, just to let you know, a little added bonus of what's going on at Engine House 25, okay? They're doing slushies, right? Wine slushies this weekend to go, okay? Can't beat that. Now, Engine House 25 Wines, located in the Strip District, where the Strip District meets Lawrenceville, right there in Doughboy Square. Go to eh25.com, check them out. Now, what they're sponsoring had an epic night, the Jagoff Poll, the big overnight Jagoff Poll. This was one of the biggest. Dave, tell me what happened. What went down?
This is too big for school. Way too big for school. Overnight, we had an outpouring of support for these two Jags battling out in a Royale like we've never seen before. In fact, WWE, the Wrestling Federation, they shut down our YouTube video because they were like, you're stealing all our thunder. We can't take it. They were jealous. They were so mad that we were just absolutely kicking their butts in the ratings because this is so friggin' important. This Jagoff was the most amazing. When you see two absolute titans of the Pittsburgh industry, Michael Keaton versus Flashdance, come on. We never should have played with fire Patrick, because we are going to get burned tonight, baby.
Before you give the results, okay? I just want to go out there and say, these two should have been in the finals together. This is like we're not even in the Sweet 16 yet. That's how cutthroat the Jag-Off bracket poll is. Screw March Madness. Okay, all right. I don't know if I'm mentally ready or physically ready. What happened?
Are you sure you're ready?
I'm not, but go on, because both of these things are iconic. Larry John Myers was in Flashdance. Don Brockett was in Flashdance. Mario Melodia's feet were in Flashdance. Michael Keaton is the man. He exonerates Pittsburgh. What happened?
Well, all right, Patrick, hold on your pants. Here we go, baby. Michael Keaton just pulled it out at the last minute. One man against a movie, a titan of a movie, an untouchable movie, one of those movies you can't mess with, that nobody can win an argument saying that it's garbage or that it was overrated because it's just that big in our hearts. But Michael Keaton did it, baby.
Okay. I had to do this last night. I'm going to do it again tonight, okay? To the loser. Michael Keaton is moving on to the Sweet 16. Michael Keaton is moving on to the Sweet 16. To Flashdance. I don't know. Maybe we should do a loser's bracket because these are heartbreaking. We don't want to say goodbye to Flashdance. It has touched so many people. The movie, who a lot of people said that they're not really excited, that it wasn't a very good movie, but it was just MTV and the soundtrack was great. I beg to differ. There is a lot to it. Now, granted, if I had seen the movie now for the first time and an 18-year-old girl from a Steeltown girl on a Saturday night was going to be dating the CEO of the steel company, I might be like, hey, yeah, it's kind of creepy. That's not right. But the dance numbers are amazing. The soundtrack is killer. It is quintessential Pittsburgh. It is watching Flashdance is watching a Pittsburgh time capsule because they managed to capture that era to the T, whether they realized they were doing it or not. Now, there's other Pittsburgh movies that are on the big Jag-Off bracket poll, like Striking Distance is going to be coming up, Silence of the Lambs. Now, Striking Distance was essentially a Pittsburgh movie, but, you watch it and you're like, oh, you can't get to there from there and the car chases and everything. Flashdance, straight up. She ended up at CMU, danced at the end. There was 2 different body double dancers for her. Come on, you can't get away with that these days. So anyway, Flashdance, I bid you adieu. I'm sorry to see you go, but Michael Keaton rides on. If anybody out there is friendly with Michael Keaton or knows him, let him know that he's moving to the Sweet 16 and he should come on this show and tell us why he should win the Jag-Off poll. I know there's he was Michael Douglas around here. In case you don't know, Michael Keaton was Michael Douglas when he was in Pittsburgh. Okay? So that's your little tidbit of information. Okay, so that's aside. All right. Herky Pollock just said Batman wins again. The guy can't lose. Bill Blazowski is king. He loves Flashdance. Bill Blazowski was a great character. All right. So anyway, adieu, Flashdance. Moving on right now. A little thing we also do, the Engine House 25 Wines Lil Jag-Off poll. Okay, so here's what's going on. We left 2 brackets in the 64 team Jag-Off poll blank, right? So we have in-show polls live that only you can vote on. Only you, the audience, can vote on these polls. So only live, not during our podcast if you're listening to it the next day, not doing it if YouTube doesn't shut us down after our live show because they're nervous about us, getting too many ratings. But you can get that going on right there. So the Little Jag-Off poll on Wednesday, I believe it was, what was it, Dave? On Wednesday, it was Gum Band versus...
Something Pittsburgh. Gum Band won. And then yesterday was Gene Kelly versus Martha Graham. Gene Kelly dominated. So now, Pittsburgh, Dave, give it to him. What's going on tonight? In-show poll. I just want to say one thing, man. I just want to say one thing, Pittsburgh. This is for you. All of you listeners out there that aren't watching us live right now, I pity you. You're listening on the podcast. Hey, man, what do you think you're doing with your life? You should be watching right now live with us because this is the party that don't stop. And this party starts with something very exciting. Here we go. This is the Jagoff, the little Jagoff, the in-show Jagoff. We got Gene Kelly versus Gumban. Gene Kelly versus Gumban. Did you know that Gene Kelly's friends used to call him Gumban? So this is a tragic pairing. It's like justice served. Gene Kelly versus Gumban. I bet you he's doing back somersaults in his grave right now. Gene Kelly versus Gumban. Vote now. This is your chance. And screw you, podcast listeners.
Obviously, Dave Mansueto has a dance background because backwards somersaults in his grave is what it says. So you can get voting right now if you're watching on Facebook. Just click down on right below where I'm at right now. Gene Kelly or Gum Band. Gum Band's quintessential. They don't call it rubber bands around here. It's a gum band. So Gum Band versus Gene Kelly. A man, a legendary man versus an iconic word. So that's aside. Pete, Dave, did anything happen over the last 24 hours that you want to talk about? If not, we can move right on.
I started working on another deck, doing another big deck restoration. This is like decks on decks on decks. It's a 3-deck.
A 3-decker, a triple decker.
It's a triple decker with stairs. And these stairs, it's a whole other deck in itself. So
well,
in the midst of this renovation, I'm pretty excited about it.
Pete's also getting an earring.
Oh, Pete's going to get an earring, and I'll let you guys know what this is about. We think Pete, with his new hairdo the way it is coiffed it perfectly, reminds us a little bit of George Michael. Okay? Like Faith era George Michael. So, I mean, if he takes a little bit off the beard, right, keeps the stubble, gets an earring, he's got a George, and that's high praise coming from me and Dave Mansueto. So, if there's nothing else, I would love to get to our first guest. Davu Flint is here with us. The man's an international iconic performer and star. I'm dying to talk to him. He has roots from Pittsburgh, but he's been all over the world. So let's bring him out here if he's ready to go. Davu Flint, are you here with us?
Yes, I'm here. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad that Gene Kelly won last week because I went to Peabody.
Oh, you went to Peabody?
Peabody, man. Class of 95, bro.
That's perfect. Okay, so let me ask you a question then. Was there any Gene Kelly swag on the walls at Peabody?
You know, there wasn't. And I actually was, because I went to Peabody when there were just gangs. And there was nothing but gang activity. But for me, my mother is, I come from a musical family. Mm-hmm. And I love Gene Kelly. Growing up, I thought he was the coolest guy. Him and Frank Sinatra and the guy Ginger Rogers.
Fred Astaire?
There you go.
Okay.
I thought they were the coolest cats ever, and I didn't realize until I graduated that Gene Kelly went to Peabody.
Wow, so that blows my mind. He's got to be the most iconic. Well, he's one of the biggest Pittsburghers of all time. How could they not They
didn't say that. You know who also is a very famous Pittsburgher who went to Peabody? Charles Grodin.
Charles Grodin went to Peabody. Then he went to Carnegie Mellon, which was then Carnegie Tech.
Yes. He spoke at my sister. My sister graduated in '93 from Peabody, and when she was a freshman, I guess in '89 or whatever, I'm bad at math. That's who came and spoke to the incoming freshman. Charles Grodin.
What's crazy that you bring up Charles Grodin, because later on in the show we're going to be talking about something a movie with Charles Grodin in it that we might as well launch it now.
Might as well.
Because here's the segue.
Bring it on.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do, right? Because the big Jagoff bracket poll isn't going to have a weekend poll tonight. What we're doing, we're starting at like our own movie club, our own book club. So we're gonna all watch Midnight Run. Okay, as a company, and we ask you, the audience, to watch it, and we are going to talk about it nonstop for 10 or 15 minutes on our Wednesday show. I can't hear you. I lost you for a second. I don't know why. Still can't hear you.
Yo,
there, I got you. Go ahead.
I don't know. I'll be here for the show. I'll be here.
Midnight Run.
Midnight Run. It's the best film ever. You know, I saw him once on David Letterman in the '90s, early '90s when I was a kid. After I realized he graduated from Peabody, and David Letterman was trying to take the piss, and he was like, "Say something bad about Pittsburgh." He's like trying to goad him into saying something bad, and Charles Grodin was like, "Dude, I can't. It's only the best place ever." And ever since then, I realized that me and Charles Grodin were kindred spirits. We're the same cat.
I feel that. Charles Grodin roomed at Carnegie Tech with George Papard from the A Team.
Hey, you're kidding me, George Brevard with the
All right, with the A Team, and a dear friend of my family, Gene Ray, killer actor whose grandson actually sang and melted everyone's heart. John Binley sang on this show a few weeks ago.
See, I say this all the time. Wherever you go in the world, there is someone from Pittsburgh in the mix. We're everywhere. It's just an incredible city to be an artist from because everyone hates you. Like no one like cares about you. Like I remember being I don't know I grew up in like for me like I could have gone to New York when I was in '95 when I graduated school, but I stayed here because I fell in love with a girl who went to Pitt, and I was like, I'm gonna go to Pitt. But I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything. Like not going to New York. I felt like I got a great education as far as being an artist. But I literally remember people driving on the streets and just hollering out at me, "You're whack!" Like just like and just driving on, like because they would see like any city like the work. I have a theory about working class cities like Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Detroit, Rust Belt cities where people they go and work at a steel mill every day or a car factory or a masonry. These people want great art. They're working class people who want good art because they work hard. So they want to see you give the same attention to your job, which is being an artist, that they give to their jobs. And Pittsburgh, it makes you a great artist. I mean, I'm a huge Pittsburgh geek, but
Yeah.
whether it's Andy Warhol or Art Blakey or Billy Eckstein, we make great art.
So, but you said no matter where you go. Now you've been all over, right? Now recently you were just in Germany.
I live in Germany.
You
I
live in
live in
Germany.
Germany.
So what made you move to Germany?
I got my master's degree in music at the University of London. So I was living in London. Um, well, I've been going to London for years, and it's just London's an incredible place. But as Brexit, they don't want foreigners living there. They're like if you're not from London, if you're not English, get the hell out. So I was in London when they voted for Brexit, and then 6 months later they voted for Donald Trump. So I felt this whole global shift happening where, uh, you know, I just felt that like foreigners were not welcome, and I had to get out. So I had a bunch of friends from university from uni who moved to Germany. And Germany is one of the easiest places for an American outside of the Netherlands to get a visa. And I was getting a lot of shows in Paris because the kind of music that I make, it's very popular in Paris. Like what's happening in Paris right now, at least for Black American musicians like who make the kind of music that I make, it's like Miles Davis or something in the 50s, where they just love real hip hop music and they love uh, real rock music, and you can go there and just and be very successful. So I was getting a lot of when I was in London, I was doing a bunch of shows in Paris, and did a bunch of shows in South Africa with the Paris band. I played piano and I rap, so I was doing a lot of shows in Paris, and it was like, oh wow, I can live in Berlin, and I have a loft for 400 euros a month, which is like 450 bucks.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah,
it's free.
super duper cheap.
Yeah.
Super duper cheap. You can drink beer on the train. Like beer costs less than water.
Yeah.
Like I was like this.
Yeah.
These are the ideas that I need. In my life. This is
Right.
how I feel as a person. So I was like, oh, I'll just move to Berlin. So I moved to Berlin. I moved to Japan, and I was teaching in
Jeez.
Japan. I was teaching in Japan, and then I got on unemployment.
Mm.
And I moved to Berlin, and I was making money off unemployment, living in the United States, and gigging. And then I
Wow.
just kind of like built on itself. And so I've been living there for the last I've been living there for the last year and a half, man. It's been amazing.
I mean, is it COVID that brought you home?
That's exactly what happened.
Mm.
And COVID with the Black Lives Matter thing.
Hmm.
It just felt super weird. I was reading James Baldwin, right? Who's
Hmm.
the
Quintessential.
penultimate
Right.
black expatriate, and he was writing about when you separate. Because I left America because I felt trapped. I felt as if I felt like the kind of music that I wanted to make because I grew up. Because I mean, like I shout out to Dave Mansueto.
Hmm.
He's the man. When I met Dave Mansueto at Pitt when I was a freshman at Pitt, and there was a crew that we used to call the Super Crew,
Hmm.
and it was like a bunch. You were part of the Super Crew,
Yes.
and yes, it was like a bunch of us, like skaters and like punk rock kids and rap dudes and all these people that was like sort of like caught up in this '90s like urban culture thing, right? So for me, it was an amazing experience and very freeing and liberating. But as time went on, I just felt like as a black rapper, and musician, I felt like trapped in a hip hop thing.
Hmm.
So yeah, so Europe is like the kind of the place to go, and I was like, I'm gonna leave Europe because I'm gonna leave America because it's free in Europe, and I can gig in Paris, and Paris is wonderful, and they treat me like a boss. And then I realized by separating yourself from the struggle, you separate yourself from the successes, and I saw all of the things that were happening in the United States, and it just made me homesick. And I never get homesick.
Right.
I just felt like, if anything, this is the place I need to be right now, if only for the summer. So, I mean, I was good in Berlin in COVID because it's Germany is a little bit farther ahead the United States as far as COVID is concerned. Like
So yeah,
it's
yeah,
open there.
question about that. What was the difference? Lockdown there to
Immediately,
here.
immediately. Germans are Germans. If they have an incredible sense of nationness, which is why they try to take over the world like
Mm.
multiple times. Yeah, but I think Merkel as a president galvanized them for good. And Germans don't want to be associated. I didn't. So it was just immediate. Like immediately, like it was overnight. Everyone was wearing masks.
Mm.
Overnight, like
Like
easily.
we're at like month 7, and people
Wasn't
are just like starting like maybe I should wear this mask.
was an issue. It wasn't even an issue. The
Right.
government went out of their way to make sure because they realized the artists were going to get unemployed first because
Mm.
Berlin is a club culture. Like
Mm.
everyone, like I'm in Berlin, I don't wake up before 4 o'clock. Like my hours are like from 4 to like 5 or 6 in the morning. So they realized that like
You're a third shift guy.
yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah.
So they gave us like 8 or 9 thousand euro to cover
Mm.
us for the stretch. And you go to the grocery store and they only have the amount of carts in the grocery store that they can allow in the building.
Mm.
Like
Okay.
just yeah. So if they run out of carts, they know there's not a lot. They know that everyone's just waiting out in line.
Hmm.
And you go in a grocery store in Berlin, and they have the wipes for you. And they have a security guard who gives you the wipes. He wipes your cart down for you. You wipe your cart down for yourself, and you have your mask, and that's how it works. They were so organized immediately, and there was no issue about it. Like as a country, this is what we have to do. And then with in Europe, the border shut down immediately.
Mm.
So, like the thing about the EU that's so incredible is that you can travel to France, you can travel to Portugal, and it's like going to like New Jersey or something. But as soon as as COVID happened, everything in Europe locked down, and you were stuck in the country that you were in.
Mm.
So if you were in Portugal, if you were in Germany, if you were in
That's where we're at.
France, bong. When I flew back here, I've been here a month. I flew back through Iceland,
Mm.
and in Iceland, I flew from Berlin to Reykjavik, and they give you a COVID test
Hmm.
in the airport, and they make you download an app, and you get your. I was in Reykjavik for 3 days, and they give you your results the next day. You know, like you get an app and you're like you can travel. So now, like when I go back to Germany, I can just show them my that I'm clear. It's just more sensible. I feel like America has an issue with how they perceive freedom.
Yeah.
You know, I think freedom is not necessarily. I mean, it's definitely doing what you want to do, but it's also being willing to listen to people push back on you
Hmm.
when you say that this is what I want to do.
Right.
You know, it's not just, oh, I'm gonna like not wear a mask because fuck that. It's engaging in a conversation about wearing a mask.
Yeah. It's,
You know, and I think that that's what Americans don't really do well. We don't really talk to each other well. That I can have conversations about race or politics or sexuality or anything in Europe,
mhm.
and it's like I'm entering into this conversation with the idea that we are going to meet somewhere in the middle. Not that I have to destroy you. So it was
Right.
an incredible experience being there for COVID, and now the clubs are opening up. Like I ran a jam session in Vetting, which is like pretty much all Black American jazz expatriate jazz musicians who live in Berlin, and they're gigging again. Like the big clubs, like
Yeah.
the huge like Berghain and Kit Kat and Quatre Blau, like those like 1,000 person clubs or 2,000 person clubs that open on Thursdays and close on Tuesdays,
Hmm.
and that are open all week. They're not open because
Right.
that's where the virus started in Berlin.
I believe it.
It started in these, so those clubs aren't open, but the little jazz clubs and the cafes, they're open, and that's where I gig and that's where I make my money.
Well, speaking of which, I was hoping that maybe you would. Mandy just says hi.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
I just
That's
want to say,
cool.
I was going to say, Mandy
That's
says hi, and Danielle just said, "Crazy, what simple concepts other countries can follow."
oh,
Yeah.
we're
So,
divided.
speaking of gigging, maybe you'd give us a little taste, a little something for
Well,
us.
I'm gonna work on. I had my keyboard set up, but they didn't work. All right, so I'm gonna figure it out. But we're gonna do it like this. I remember the first time that I saw your face. Kinda impressed by your style and grace. Move it smooth to your groove with your hair in place. Ain't trying to chase cause this ain't no race. I just let you be who you're trying to be. Trying to see if you're right for the mind of me. Like a type who could look past the finery. We can have a couple kids start a dynasty. I don't be chillin' at the crib watching Dynasty. I go to school, get my bachelor's, to fine degree. Plus I rap when around niggas line to see. Then they clap, drop a dime on the fine CD. I don't treat you bad when you're around the crew. I love all the innocent things you do. I just wanna spend some time with you. I just wanna spend some time with you. Just wanna spend some time with you. Just wanna spend some time with you. We can slide to the crib and divide it too. And I know where you live, what you try to do. And I see how you swing, find the groove. Trying to do the did and find the view, yo. Just wanna spend some time with you. I just wanna spend some time with you. Verse 2, it all seems so for real now, but in the beginning, I'm just looking for walls to tear down. I mean, the wax exquisite, I never saw the Mac. In fact, just wondering how my dear sound. No sound is coming back through the telephone. I'm just wondering what's going on. Alone in zones, wondering what's going on. The same old love mayhem. You know the song, so sweet and sad. It's funny how you meet, yo. Complete and positive greeting the dad treating, kind of complete in the soul is so deep, but don't take it for granted, yo. Just don't sleep, cause they're waiting if you do. And they more survival more equipped than you. And they wanna spend some time with you. And they wanna spend some time with you. Just wanna spend some time with you. I wanna spend some time with you. Slide to the crib and divide the two. Know where you live, what you trying to do. See how you swing, find the groove. Trying to do that it and find the view. I wanna spend some time with you. I wanna spend some time with you. We're through.
Very nice.
Thank you very much.
All right,
Thank you
thank you
very
so
much.
much. All right, so what we want to do is we want to have you back on the show when we can get your gear working.
Beer, I'll be back.
Okay, please come back. And I also want to talk about the side of the quiet storm.
Let me know.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
okay. All right, well, we'll just dangle that carrot.
There's a carrot. I'm here for it.
All right,
Yeah.
beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Davu Flint.
All right, one.
Thank you. We'll talk to you soon, maybe in the next week or so.
Yeah, please.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. All right, fascinating stuff and dope. Look at that, man. Just a cappella with clapping. I was feeling it. I hope you guys were too. Now's the time when I'm going to remind you to hit this little Venmo here at Together PGH. That will support the artists involved in the show tonight and every night. The money goes to the artists that are on the show on any particular evening that you want to kick in. $1, $2, anything would be great. We're also on PayPal if you go to the website togetherpgh.com. It would be we'd be very grateful if you would kick in any amount of money would be great. I mean, you can give hundreds. That'd be fantastic. But $1, $2, we know there's donor fatigue out there. So thank you. So here's something for you. We started talking about it. The door just opened up. We're starting a little Alone Together Pittsburgh Film Club. We're going to start running that over the weekend. We're asking you, the audience, this week to watch Midnight Run because we're going to be talking about it on Wednesday's show. We're going to have a little meetup. We're going to talk, and we want you to chime in with questions, comments, contributions, gripes, bitches, or complaints, anything and everything in between. Midnight Run. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. I'm going to watch it again. I don't need an excuse. I probably would have done it anyway, but I'm hoping you guys watch it too. It's its 32nd year anniversary this last weekend. So get on it. Find out about it. Learn. I think it's one of the forgotten great De Niro movies. Charles Grodin, can't go wrong. Get your watch on. Join us for the discussion about Midnight Run this Wednesday. Also, now's the perfect opportunity to let me tell you guys about Red Start Roasters Coffee. Okay, Red Start Roasters Coffee. You go to redstartroasters.com. They're a local roaster. They are the only bird-friendly roaster in the Pittsburgh area. If you use the code TogetherPGH, you'll receive 10% off your order. That's right. Both our sponsors are giving you guys discounts. Engine House 25, $5 off a bottle. Together PGH at Red Start Roasters get you 10% off and free shipping at Red Start Roasters. You can't go wrong. I think Pete recommends the espresso blend. It's not espresso, but am I right, Pete? Is that your blend? Okay, great. Thank you so much. RedStarRoasters.com. Pete's not the best color man in the business for nothing. Moving along here, we have two of our regular contributors coming up. Who is on deck? Dave, tell me who's waiting in the wings? Who's on?
We got great people hanging in the wings. Dave's ready to go.
Well, then let's do it, man. Dave Bracey is here with us to talk about some local brews and the upcoming Fresh Fest DigiFest. I cannot wait. He always has something good to talk about in addition to just the beer. It's never just about the beer with Dave Bracey. Let's bring him out here.
Hey, what's good, you people?
How are you, sir?
I'm in public, so I'm masked up, as we should be in public. I don't know if anybody know that or anything about this show, but this whole show is about public safety out here. You know what I mean? Like, we are entertainers who are trying to get through this goddamn pandemic because we are the last people to come back to this shit. I mean, I'm hearing all these people like complaining and shit's opening up and shit's shutting down. It's like why are you mad at the governor? You should be mad at your goddamn peers who ain't telling these motherfuckers to mask up. I'm sorry for using the MF word, but I mean, it's the passion, man.
It's okay. Since you have your mask on, we can dub that out in post real easy.
Nice. Can you hear me? Or
you're clear. You're clear.
Sweet. Fuck Donald Trump. Let me start out with that. And
that's always
thank
clear.
you again for having me on for yet another week. How's you been, sir?
I've been hanging in, man. I'm trying to keep it together. Mentally, I'm trying to stay sane with all.
You got a hat on.
I'm wearing a hat. It's straight ahead.
To the front.
Brim is to the front.
Culturally appropriate.
I was told what my culturally appropriate hat position would be. I shouldn't mess with anything. This doesn't look right on me. But right here is where it's at. I've got a hat on today. I don't know if you were watching earlier. I have a snack tray.
No,
I bought it. I bought this thing online, and now instead of having pillows stacked up on my lap on this, there it is, right there.
Oh,
I bought like a $25 thing, and I spent the extra $5 because it had a drink holder, and none of my drinks fit.
Y'all are in the future right now. You got the triple screens going.
We got it. We got everything. Oh, you don't know. We switched platforms.
Dancing.
We're much happier.
Every week, man. I am like you are the standard. You know what I mean? I keep seeing what y'all doing, and I'm like, we gonna get there. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you'll catch up eventually. But before we talk about beer, well, like let's just talk about Fresh Fest, Digifest for a minute here. Before we talk about the beers you're drinking, what's new this
well,
week?
so Fresh Fest, man, it's coming along. I don't know, man. I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to feel a little proud about it because things are just like it's all like fest and event planning is all about like scrambling to put people into place so that they can succeed. And now it feels like all the people are in places and now they're succeeding. So we're getting releases, labels, artists are all packed, like I mean, like booked and whatnot. I mean it's going. Like at this point, I could die leaving this car and that shit is gonna pop on August 8th. It's just everybody's got the blueprint and they're like, we're ready to go. Like I mean we can do this tomorrow. I'm ready to do this.
Oh my god! Oh my gosh! You're ready then. I mean,
I'm ready to do this.
You're confident. You're don't peak too soon. Don't peak too soon.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying to just
stay humble.
I mean,
stay humble. Keep your nose to the grindstone.
Well, see, I am humble because I ain't doing nothing again. I can die. It ain't about me. You know what I'm saying? Like Grist House is still gonna do their beer. I mean, without me. But it's coming along. The app is getting better. We've added some color to it. We fixed some links. We've added some opportunities. So I mean, like that app. So even if you aren't going to the festival this year for some reason, for whatever reason that you don't have $10 and you don't want to be a part of this festival, the app is still worthy because we have small business opportunities. We have educational opportunities. Events that are going to be moving forward, ways to get various beers, black beer directories. I mean, there's so much more to the app than just that day of. So shout out to Work Hard Digital for doing that. They put a lot of work into that app. And I want to let folks know that the festival will be going on from August 8th until September 8th. So even if you can't make it August 8th, it's all right. Because you could get those streams and those channels.
Now I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the site right now. I got one question for you. Did you already have your site branded with America's First Black Beer Festival, and did you just add digital in parentheses everywhere?
That's
all
it.
you just did.
That's it. It was America's First Black Beer Festival, and then around May we had the switch. We had the pivot. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, now it's a digital beer festival, but it's still a first.
Just cut and paste, drop it in there. You get more first. All right. So what have you drank? What are you drinking this week?
Well, so I've been dropping off a lot of packs today. So for folks that don't know, all of the collaborations that we have going on for the festival this year, if you go into person, the first 30 people to get packs from any of the breweries that are doing it, will get a free taster glass with their 4-pack. So I've been dropping off a bunch today to the breweries, and they've been giving me beer as I do that. Wow, right? You give them something, you get something cool. So I stopped at Cinderlands today, and they gave me this raspberry sour. It's a raspberry lemonade sour, so it basically tastes like a raspberry lemonade. It's a tart shake. For folks that don't know, the tart shake series is one of the best in the cities. It's milky. It's got a little bit of that like sweet lactose in it. It's fruity. It's sour. And it's delicious. And it has a little bit of a hot backbone. So you're getting all of that citrus hop. You're getting the fruit from the lemon and the raspberries. And then you're getting that sweet kind of like lactose in it. If you haven't had a tart shake yet, my God, man, I don't know what you've been doing. Maybe you've been quarantining. That's cool. Cinderlands delivers as well. So, get you some of that. Shout out to them. They are dropping a collab. They're doing a lager with Rhythm Brewing out in Connecticut. It's called Land of Rhythm, and it's a dry hop lager. Actually, it's a dry hop pilsner. A pilsner is a lager, so I wasn't wrong. But I wanted to clarify because a pilsner is much more clear than a lager. So it's a dry hop pilsner. It requires much more expertise than a lager, and you can judge a brewery by their pilsner. So shout out to them for doing that. I'm super excited to have parts of that.
All right.
What else we got here? I stopped at 11th Hour. Embrace the Martian. This is a 8.8% IPA. They used a bunch of German hops in this, and it came out with a very melon forward flavor. So like honeydew. It's like a honeydew beer at 8.8%. It's
honeydew.
dangerous.
Okay.
And honey, yeah, it tastes like honeydew with some pineapple characteristics afterwards. But like it's super light for 8.8. And it's not a hazy. Like I don't really know how to describe this beer, but like dangerous. Like you drink it and it feels light, like a lager. But like 10 minutes later, you'll start to feel this warmth as if you did something wrong. Like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have had that whole beer.
Right.
And man, I have not had anything quite like this. Again, I'm sorry that I can't fully describe it. Not that I've ever been great at describing beers, but this is definitely something I haven't quite had yet. And they just brewed it. And if you have, man, please go get some of this. So
I would like to try some of that. That is, I would definitely like to pick some of that up.
It's insane, man. I'm still trying to figure out how to, but it's insane.
Right. Meanwhile, go on.
No, not last. We have DG. And if you know anything about DG, it's a DG beer. So it's gonna be hazy. It's gonna be hoppy. Might have a little onion in it. That's a little inside joke. But it's called Inner Earth, and this is a double from DG. And you're gonna get what you expect from DG. Hoppy, hazy, delicious. So shout out to them for that. And then last but not least, a friend, I met him in the parking lot, new friend, right? We make new friends. Met him in the parking lot. He was like, hey, heard you guys were looking for some Black is Beautiful. This dude drove in from Indiana and brought some of this Three Floyds version of the Black is Beautiful. Now, Three Floyds is it's a world renowned brewery out of Indiana. So it's traveled, and this particular version, most of these versions are 10%, 11%. This is 7.5%. Not nearly as thick, not nearly as heavy, but the characteristics of it shine much more because you're not sleep at the end of it. It's an amazing beer. All of the proceeds from these beers go to Black organizations that are fighting for civil rights. Buy some, enjoy it, and watch the world get a little bit better as a result. So super excited to have this. Hitchhiker has one. I talked to Andy today. He said it was sold out. 11th Hour is dropping one. Union Brothers is dropping one. Nice. And a few others around the city. So I plan on getting all of those. So, you'll probably for the next couple of weeks hear me talking about this and the various organizations that they help. I
think it's genius.
Yeah, shout out to Weathered Souls. Weathered Souls down in Texas started that initiative for the collaboration. It's global now. I think it is like 20 different countries, over 1,000 breweries that are partaking in this. And Weathered Souls is actually pairing with Hitchhiker for this festival to do a dark beer. So super excited for that collab for the fest this year.
That's good. Well, hey man, that's great. Well, I mean, where are you headed right now?
I am going to head across the street so I can socially distance and have conversations about this festival because I traded 4 10s. I used to have a job where I worked like 4 days a week, 10 hours, and I thought I had made it. And for some reason, I gave that up to do 24/7 work. So here I am.
So you're paying the cost to be the boss. That's all there is to it, man. But anyway, all right. So I'm gonna let you get to it. Thank you so much. You're gonna be back this Friday, right? Or a week from tonight.
If you're gonna have me back, I would love to.
You're locked in, man. You can't do it. You can't get rid of us now.
Well, thank you, sir. Hey, before I go, man, flat brims matter.
I'm sorry. This hat came without a flat brim. This isn't even a hat. This is like a hat that you wear like when you go swimming. Like I don't have a lot of hats. But like I can't make it. I couldn't make it. It just
listen. It's a blessing And those dad hats, I just don't have the head for it. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I
You
had
have
the
a
head
perfectly cylindrical head, Day. I don't know
My
what you're
face,
talking
I
about.
got that. I need long hair, man. I need that. Like that's basically. I got
I
the
need a,
head equivalent.
I,
I need the long hair.
I need a haircut. Look at this. This is just not. This isn't how it's supposed to be. This is like
I genuinely thought that white people cut their own hair. Like I thought that was a thing. I thought y'all just ran and
I
just
tend to go to a
just keep it
barber
moving.
shop,
Like
but
who's gonna stop you? Yeah, I mean, who's gonna stop you?
I would have to get 3 mirrors, you see, to be able to get the angle on the back to do it. I could get the front real nice.
Yeah.
I could get myself. I could get high and tight. I could do it all. I could have fade.
Yeah.
I've had it all. I could do it. It's the back. It would just be just a crock of shit back there.
So, but you have cut your own
I
hair.
have cut my own hair. It did not go well.
See,
well.
you be hard pressed to find a black dude that cut his own hair, man. That's just like
Well, all I said was once.
Huh?
Once.
Oh, yeah.
Look at Pete. That's Pete's hair. Which one's Pete? You don't even know.
Was that what he was going for?
That's what he's got. Whether he's going
Yeah.
for it or not. If he had a pair of aviators on right now, he'd be rocking George Michael. So anyway, Dave, thanks so much, man. And
Thank you for having me.
Oh, sure thing. Come on back next Friday and see Dave Bracey and see what we're gonna come up with next. All right, get to work.
Take it easy, sir. See you next
Thanks,
week.
Dave. Everybody check out
Donald
Fresh
Trump.
Fest Digifest. Buy everything you can. Get the T-shirt, get the cup, get the tasting, get everything. All right. So before we bring out our next guest, hey, there's Natalie right there. I guess we're just bringing her out. I was going to say something. Hey, Natalie, let me ask. Oh, there she went. Okay,
That's all you get, Patrick. For
That's
now,
all.
that's it.
Jesus.
That
All right,
is it.
So okay, Gum Band versus Gene Kelly. How's it going? Everyone needs to vote because the winner's announced right at the end of our 5 minutes with Natalie Bensavenga. How's the vote going? Gum Band versus Gene Kelly. Just start voting out
It looks
there.
like the Gene Kelly is like absolutely tearing it up. You would
Really?
think that nobody cared about gum bands. You know what I mean? Like they don't want to defend the fact. It's the first thing I came to Pittsburgh. They were like, "It's not rubber bands. It's gum bands. It's not soda. It's pop. It's not. You gotta love the Steelers. You know what I mean? It's qualified." Well, whatever. Put your money where your mouth.
That's what
is,
Gum
people.
Band beat. I think Gum Band beat Pop. You're right. There it
Was it
is.
Pop?
Okay, so I tell you what, we got our next contributor is
Hey, Pittsburgh, nice word.
Our next guest is Natalie Bensavenga. We have 5 minutes with. We're going to run her 5 minutes with. I'm excited to see who she's interviewing this week. So let's roll it, Dave.
Hey everyone, I'm Natalie Bensavenga, host of 5 Minutes With, and this week I am super excited to introduce you to Kimmi Baston. She is the operations director at Strong Women, Strong Girls. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So for people that may not know, can you talk a little bit about what Strong Women, Strong Girls is?
Absolutely. So Strong Women, Strong Girls is a nonprofit organization with locations here in Pittsburgh and also in Boston that focuses on mentorship for women and girls. So we have a multi-generational model where about 300 local college women mentor about 700 local elementary school girls at sites all around the city. And then those college women are actually mentored by local professional women volunteers. So we have a great kind of trickle down effect to just empower women and girls all over the city and hopefully make people's futures brighter.
That is really awesome. And I just think so needed, especially right now, to have that sort of intergenerational approach to things and all that wisdom that can kind of, like you said,
Yes.
pull around. And you guys have an upcoming awards event happening that's normally an in-person breakfast, but this year it's going to be a little different. Do you want to talk about that?
Absolutely. So the Strong Awards is coming up for us on August 7th. And the Strong Awards is our annual fundraising breakfast. For the first time ever, for obvious reasons, we are taking it totally virtual. So protecting everyone's health and safety is, of course, our top priority. And so we're really excited for the challenge and also to not have walls on the event, really, that anybody will be able to join in the virtual experience. And so what the Strong Awards does is recognizes 3 local women and girls and 1 local company that are just doing amazing things in the city. So our winners advance women, they mentor others, and they give back to the community, most importantly. So we honor them. We have a really dynamic keynote presentation as well with 2 women who are actually associated with Comcast, NBC Universal, who are just going to be talking through their experiences as female executives and the importance of giving that confidence to girls to reach their dreams, and just having a celebration of females in Pittsburgh. So we're really excited.
That's really awesome. And this is going to be taking place August 7th, correct?
It is, yes.
Great. And we'll be able to share information about how you can get tickets. And they're only $45, which I think is really a great price point so that everybody can kind of be engaged and join in with this. And obviously this is such an uncertain time that I think things like this are really important to sort of bringing our communities together. And I took some notes after I learned more about your organization. I wanted to go over some statistics with you because I thought some of these were pretty fascinating. So with your program, half the girls that are enrolled in your program live in homes earning less than $27,799 a year. And I think, you know, to your point, you were saying how important it is this whole intergenerational mentorship can be. Why is it important to make sure that we're really focused on girls and women that are living in under-resourced communities?
Right. So, I mean, the research has shown us over many decades that girls, especially girls from under-resourced communities, but, you know, women of all ages and males too, face additional barriers that other people simply don't face. Their communities don't have the resources to support them as they're younger necessarily, and their families could have additional challenges that mean they don't get access to the same things people from other communities do. So we just strive to be there for them, provide that mentorship, and provide role models that just show them they can do whatever it is that they dream, and the barriers they have now don't have to be forever.
And I love that because I think that's true. Until you have representation in front of you with someone that looks like you or has had experiences like you, sometimes you don't realize that you're capable of these things as well.
Right.
And one of the other statistics that I thought was really interesting and very positive was that 97% of the girls that went through your program said that they felt now that they could make an impact in their community. And when we look forward to a world maybe post-COVID, and we've seen how COVID has sort of unearthed a lot of inequities, what does that statistic mean to you in the world that we're living in currently?
Right. So for us to be making an impact in this way and to show girls and children that they can make a difference, we love to show them role models that are their age, who are doing great things, like Marley Diaz, who had the 1,000 Black Girl Books campaign when she was 11. And so we feel like we are building a generation of girls in Pittsburgh who are predisposed to want to make that impact in the community, and to do things for other people and just make the world a better place. And that's a huge impact, you know, to come out of our program. And it's why we're here. It's why we do what we do.
That's wonderful. And I really appreciate you taking 5 minutes with me to share what Strong Women, Strong Girls does. And I hope you will come back on after your amazing awards and we can have like a recap of it.
I'd love to. Thank you so much for having me. It was great to talk to you.
It was great talking to you too. Thank you so much.
Natalie, another fascinating guest. You keep jagging, you go left to right.
I got to keep you surprised every week, Patrick.
Keep me on my toes. Strong,
it's really just
strong
about
girls.
trying to keep your interest, really.
Keep my interest, but everybody else's. I mean, these are great stories. This is great stuff that's going on right now that people need to know about.
No, I thought so too, and I had never heard of Strong Women, Strong Girls, and I mean, even with all the work I did at the Post-Gazette and everything, that was not an organization that was on my radar, and so they had sent me some stuff wanting to know if I would do a segment for 5 Minutes With for the show, and so when I looked up the organization, they really are doing really great things in the community. It really is intergenerational. It's very intersectional in the way that they're looking at the world. And I thought that it would be a nice group to highlight, especially coming off of everything that happened this week with AOC having to go in front of, you know, everyone and sort of defend herself against horrible comments that were sexist. It's like, let's recenter women and girls, you know?
But I tell you, the AOC thing was one of the more, you know, epic things that I feel like everyone should agree on. What she said. Like
I agree with that.
But the way she laid it out, I mean, it's kind of it's bulletproof. You know what I mean? It's like the way that it was laid out, word for word. Whether you agree with her politics, whether you agree with her approach on things. I feel like that's just basically, if you watch that, I think it's 14 minutes. It was extraordinarily well crafted, well laid out, and necessary. So, but I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought it would just be important to sort of tie it back to reminding people that, when we center those that are often ignored in our communities, it uplifts everyone. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about what they're doing. And as someone, being a woman, I have to tell you, my experiences in this city, it was very challenging finding mentorship, especially in media and journalism. And so if there's programs out there that can support young women and be able to pass down that wisdom and that energy and say, hey, here's what I did, you don't need to make these same mistakes, I think that's really invaluable as you move into like the professional landscape, whatever that may look like moving forward after the pandemic. But I think it's just a necessary thing that women are able to connect with one another and connect with younger women as well, and girls too, and just get inspired.
I agree. Amazing. So so it's Friday.
Yes.
You've had a week.
I've had a year and a week.
You've had a year and a week. So let's talk about it. What's going on with Ask Natalie, or what else has been going on? Anything new at your table column? Go on.
Well, I just have to say, I don't know about you, but I've been having extremely visceral dreams lately. And I've been reading about how people are having these hyper realistic and just intense dreams because of all of the anxieties that we're experiencing. And I woke up this morning, I kid you not, and I was saying power to the people. I was having a dream where I was trying to unionize people. I
You
swear
remember
to
this dream? Okay.
Yes. And it was the strangest thing. And I woke up and I was saying power to the people. So you can clearly tell where my head is right now. I'm like, it's a revolution, at least up here.
Well, and now it's somewhat televised, but I mean, that's crazy. I mean,
it is.
now
I
that you
know,
mention
I'm aware.
I'm glad you remembered it, because I tend to I remember having vivid dreams, but I forget them.
Yeah.
After 5 or 6 minutes. Lately, the last couple of weeks, I mean, there's so much going on from so many different places.
Yes.
And I said that 4 weeks ago. I said that 3 weeks ago. I said that 2 months ago. It just keeps on compiling. It's just coming at us. We can't now throw Oregon into it. Throw Portland.
I know.
I mean, everything that's going on right now. There's just another piece every day.
There is. It's multi-layered. And then on top of it, I've been really getting into this Table Magazine series that I've been working on food justice. And the one that's going to come out this week on Friday, I'm focused on local farms and just the stress that they're under in our region right now to not only just survive, but really build momentum, and how the national supply chain really was incredibly impacted by this pandemic, and just how fragile our food system really is. And it's just been really eye-opening to recognize that I could be doing more to support local farms than I was in the past, just because I didn't think about it. It just wasn't on my radar. So it's gotten me to rethink how I'm going to proceed with where I'm buying my food and how.
And that's great.
Yeah. And I'm hoping that other people will, feel that way too, as they start to think about these ways of being.
If you have any questions, Aaron Hart's on the show every Wednesday, basically fielding questions from people just like that about how to get more involved, how to get where you get the farmers markets, CSAs. And
yes, the CSA. Yeah. I just never thought that I was I'm just not one of those people. And I'm I need to be one of those people. We all need to be one of those people.
And the produce is so good when you get it from them. We do Aaron helped us find a local farm. Yeah.
Yes.
We got coconuts and pineapples and mangoes and chinchillas every week.
Awesome. No, not the last one.
No, but we've been super excited about we've been going camping a lot recently, and we've been trying to stop at farm stands when we go out to those campsites instead of just going to the local grocery store, which it's all kind of the same food, but making a point. We actually have a plan now. We're going to do some more trips this summer and specifically only hit farm stands.
I love that. Yeah, that's my focus too. I'm with you on that. For sure.
This is a good chat. Is Davu Flint still with us? We could bring him in. We could all talk about this. Let's bring in Davu if he's
really? Can I?
Yeah, just jump in.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of what you're doing. I loved your interview. Your interview style is amazing.
Talking to you, Natalie.
Oh, thanks. I'm like,
No, I'm talking to you. Yeah, I'm talking to you,
okay,
Natalie.
yeah.
I didn't know your name.
Yeah, right.
that's so nice.
Yeah,
Hi.
you're dope. It's a pleasure to meet you, Natalie.
It's nice to meet you too.
Daddy was like, "Oh yeah, great. No, Natalie, this is for you."
No. You know, it's good to have women energy in the building. That's always
Absolutely.
amazing.
I'm with you on that one. But yeah, I just think that having worked through these articles on food justice and sort of moving through, talking about, it started with food insecurity and then moving on to Black farmers and urban farming and how that's just been so undervalued and
It's really
resourced.
weird because I lived in California for a very long time. I lived in the Bay Area, and my grandparents are Black Seminoles, like they're Black Indians or whatever. So they grew up on a farm. My father grew up on a farm in Farrell, Pennsylvania, which is like outside of Pittsburgh, and so we grew up farming, like growing our own food, right? Growing our own corn. Like they would send us out to Farrell for the summer to get away from Pittsburgh, and we would go farm. So when I moved to Oakland, which is like the center of food justice, I mean, like I was working on the farm, just building. You're doing soil testing and building raised beds, and coming back to Pennsylvania, coming back to Pittsburgh in particular, it's so green here. Like it's our greatest resource is like we live in a forest. It's a forest. There are deer and ground. My mother just has a house, 100-year-old house. My uncle left her, and there are deer, and there are groundhogs, and there are, I mean, Pittsburgh in particular should really be at the forefront of that. That's in our nature, and that's what we should be doing. Yeah,
Absolutely.
No, I agree. And it's just been really cool to just see what the local farms are doing and how they are trying to, keep it together and adapt and redirect how they're getting food to the consumer, right? And just how they're filling in those gaps where the national chains just have dropped off, and just the importance not only to the history of the region, but just also understanding where our food comes from, where having more respect for that whole process. And it's just been an eye-opening thing for me. And I love it when I'm learning just as much as the readers as I'm writing it. It's exciting to keep educating yourself.
All right. Well, I got to bring this back to one point here. Okay. Gene Kelly versus Gum Band. Where do you
only
stand?
Point that matters.
Where do you stand, Natalie? Before we bring out the winner is going to be announced right now.
Oh, I'm going to go with Gene Kelly.
Okay, that's not bad. I got a picture of Gene Kelly on my wall behind me right now. So, all right, so go on. I got Sammy Davis Jr., Tennessee Williams, and Gene Kelly.
You're in good company.
All right. So Dave, rattle off the winner here, and we'll roll the closing credits. Wow, Gene Kelly takes it, 77%.
The Gum Bands never stood a chance.
It would have been something if the Gum Bands would have won.
If Gum Band rallied.
Right. Let's all just be glad a person won.
But anyway, now's the part in the show where we would talk about the overnight poll for the weekend, but we are not doing one right now. We're going to pick that overnight poll up again on Wednesday, but we are going to be having a showdown of all the in-show poll. The JV squad is going to be fighting it out to try to get to the big bracket poll, and instead of that, we are doing our film club. Alone Together Pittsburgh Film Club, and that film to watch, everyone right now at home, watch Midnight Run, because we're going to be talking about it for a good 10-15 minutes, if not longer, on the show on Wednesday. So check that out. We've got some great guests lined up for next week. It's going to be hot. We got some familiar faces that you may not have seen in a while that have left town that are going to come back and perform for us. It's going to be great to stick around for it. So do that. And Davu Flint, we're going to have you back eventually, bro. In the next couple of weeks.
Let me know.
All right, cool. All right, thank you. Natalie, we will see you for another 5 minutes with
Yes.
a week from today. And check out Natalie's column in Table Magazine. And go to Ask Natalie for advice, for she's nationally syndicated advice columnist. And you throw it out there. And Natalie, thank you very much. Pete,
Thanks always for having me.
am I leaving anything out, Pete?
I just got a new sander. I'm really excited about.
We're good. We're good. We're going to talk about that in the post-show credits. But don't forget, you get 10% off your Red Star Roasters order if you use Together PGH coupon code, and $5 off each bottle of wine that you buy from Engine House 25 if you just mention Alone Together Pittsburgh. That's quite a savings. So think about that. Wear your masks. Be cool to each other. Wash your hands. Be socially distant. If you're getting takeout, tip the restaurant. Take care of people, and remember, we're all in this together. And thank you very much, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
When I walk out and there's someone without a mask and they come too close to me, I'm just racked with fear, and then I want to punch them in the face.